So, it's been a while since the last banner roadmap, and quite a lot has changed since then. With new leaks, confirmations, and even a few surprise corrections, the future lineup of Genshin Impact is starting to look really interesting again. So in this video, you'll get a full breakdown of every major banner from now all the way to version 6.7, including debuts, reruns, and some speculation that's becoming harder and harder to ignore. We're going to go version by version, starting with the one that's live right now, so by the end, you'll have a full picture of how the next months might look, at least according to the most reliable leak sources, and what logically makes sense based on past patch patterns. Let's start with version 6.1, which you probably already know quite well by now, so I'll keep it short. The first phase is already live, and if you somehow missed who's coming next, it's Arlecchino and Zhongli in the second phase, with Lanyan, Yunjin, and Rosaria as the 4 stars. A pretty safe and solid lineup, honestly. Now, moving into 6.2, which is where things start to get really exciting. According to HumDGCat, one of the most consistent leakers when it comes to banners, this version will feature the long-awaited debut of Duran. Most people already expected him around this time, but the new leaks also mention some really interesting reruns: Varka, Xilanen, and Venti. Varka has been floating around in early leaks for months and was often questioned, but if this holds true, it would be a solid confirmation that she's finally arriving. Xilanen showing up again so soon might sound early, but given how popular and meta-defining she is, it's not too surprising. And Venti rerunning here makes a lot of sense because of the new Hexenzirkel update that's buffing some of the old Mondstadt characters, including Venti himself. There's also a chance that 6.2 could feature a Mondstadt Chronicled Wish. That's not confirmed by HumDGCat, but there's logic behind it. Archons tend to appear next to the Chronicled Wish related to their region, and since the Hexenzirkel buffs are all tied to Mondstadt characters like Mona and Klee, it would be a perfect opportunity to bring a Mondstadt Chronicled Wish now. If that really happens, it could be one of the biggest updates for older players who still want copies of classic units like Albedo or buffed units like Klee or Mona. If you want more information on the buffs from the older characters, then watch my previous video, where I break down what changes. The banner order isn't locked yet, but Duran will most likely headline Phase 1, and Venti's banner could run parallel to that Chronicled Wish. Jahoda is expected to be the new 4-star character introduced in this version as well. Then we move to version 6.3, which is expected to finally make Columbina playable. Separately, leaks also point to the White Horse Adeptus appearing in the same patch as a brand new, standalone character, likely an Anemo-leaning support. If both arrive at the same time, Columbina would headline as a carry while the White Horse Adeptus serves as a setup or buffer who can slot into many teams, possibly foreshadowing good synergy with Varka later. For reruns here, the most likely candidates remain Escoffier or Hu Tao, with Escoffier slightly more probable. Then comes version 6.4, which could easily be the biggest turning point of the year. Varka is expected to finally step onto the stage. For a long time, the common belief was that he would be a standard banner unit. Newer info suggests he will be limited instead. That single change matters a lot. Limited units traditionally get pushed kits, tighter passives, and better team hooks, while standards are tuned to be broadly useful but not dominant. If Varka is limited and tuned as an Anemo main damage dealer, expect him to compete for true carry space right away. Rerun candidates here include Skirk if Escoffier already reruns in 6.3. There is also steady chatter about Mavwika or even Nuvolette joining this patch. If you combine a brand new limited Varka with 1 or 2 high-demand reruns, 6.4 becomes a save and spend magnet for a lot of accounts. Version 6.5, however, is where things start to get a bit less clear. Based on early leaks, Nicole is planned to debut somewhere around this time, though some sources still suggest she could shift between 6.5 and 6.6. The rerun pool here is wide open. Xianyun, Flynn's, Llama, or even Nefer could appear. Since Xilanen reran only a few patches after her debut, it wouldn't be shocking if Nefer, Llama, or Flynn's followed a similar pattern, appearing again just a few versions after their release. There's also a small chance of seeing Rerun or Chlorant come back here to round out the pool with another high-demand unit. Version 6.6 brings the conversation back to the Hexenzirkel in a very loud way. This is where Alice is now expected to arrive. The same voice that once said she would not be playable also said Varka would be a standard banner pick, and that second part looks wrong now, which makes the first part less trustworthy. The current read is that Alice will be playable and that she will be a pyro main damage dealer with tricks that make sense beside Nicole. On a story level, that is perfect timing, durations of which lore have been moving through Venti, Durin, and the new synergy notes, and placing Alice here would let that thread finally connect the old rumors to modern gameplay. Reruns around her could be Flynn's, Llama, and Nefer again if they have not cycled through yet, or even Durin if he explodes in popularity and they want to capitalize fast. There is also room for Ayaka or Kazuha, or even Klee for lore connection reasons. Finally, we reach 6.7, which should introduce Sandrone, another long-teased Fatui Harbinger character. Columbina will likely get her first rerun here, since she acts as something close to the Archon figure for Nodcry, and characters in that position always get their first rerun about 3 or 4 patches after release. If all of this holds, the rest of Nodcry will be absolutely packed. And don't worry if this list sounds short on new names for now. There are still several characters we haven't heard anything about yet. There will definitely be more new faces on the way. Because this video covers months of future content, the usual reminder applies. Everything here blends leaks, pattern reading, and past behavior. Order can shift. A chronicled wish can move one patch forward or back. A rerun can swap halves if another region needs attention. Use this roadmap as a guide for savings, not as a contract. What gives it weight is that several pieces come from consistent sources like HomDGCat, and the story direction supports them, but flexibility is still the smart way to plan. I also just want to say thank you. We've hit 16,000 subscribers, which is honestly crazy to me to hit that just after 15,000 subs. I really appreciate all of you who keep coming back, commenting, and helping keep the discussions alive. The next goal is 20,000. So if you enjoy these breakdowns, subscribe to join the journey and make sure you never miss a Primo Gem code or roadmap update when the next leaks drop. The next few months in Genshin look really good, a mix of nostalgia, new stories, and some long-awaited releases that will finally close old chapters. Whether you're saving for Durin, Varka, or Alice, or just waiting to see who becomes the next big meta pick, this roadmap gives you a clear idea of what to expect. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe with your polls, plan ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.